with Jason, and done! Tonight, number 69, beef and broccoli, is code for something.
On New Year's Day, I talked to my dad finally when I got up and wished him Happy New Year's, and I was just laughing, and I was just full of so much
Glee.
and just adrenaline from Don and I being up all night long, just thinking and joking and figuring it out, and just the rants, and then watching me, and I I wanted to try to explain it to my dad, who didn't. I was trying to explain to him about the blind Chinese lady, and this is the other part of the order. Beef and broccoli number 69. And as I told him, I said, I tried to set it up for him what we actually did and what this was, and this was just like this funny little skit it's only 51 seconds long. And
it's 15.
It's only 51 seconds long.
Oh, 51 seconds.
From the time I start there, once I finally come out, not all the takes up to the last one, but the full take is only 52 seconds
the runway
long.
Shot. The runway shot.
We had all of it. Yeah, but I was trying to explain to him that I was just laughing my ass like I was still high. I was so high on the adrenaline explaining to him. And I figured this is probably from the concussion because in the past 2 weeks I've died 3 times. I think
in the same day.
And I said, no, it was twice in one day and once 2 days before.
Okay. We have to get it right.
Anyways, it just felt good to laugh, and I was having fun, and my dad's 74 years old. God rest. I said, God rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
God bless his soul. I'm sure my brother's laughing at this, and my mom's just kind of going. Larry's just sitting here like this, with his steak and his fork, eating his beef and potatoes, or his fucking hamburger at Hall's and the French fries. You want to go to lunch? Yeah. You want to go to Hall's?
You sure you want your dad to see this?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is very therapeutic.
He may give you a good whipping.
This is very therapeutic. So, anyways, we had to set up my dad. He's very, if church, we're gonna get to my dad on the phone with the blind Chinese lady in a second. But you got to hear this story first. This is the first story. Okay, I grew up very Catholic, not like right-wing Catholic, but I went to Catholic grade school. I went to church 3 days a week. Why the hell do I have to go on Sunday too? Why? But if you want, you can go on Saturday at 6 o'clock, and that counts for Sunday. But there's a 5 o'clock mass, and that doesn't count. Anyway, it'd be there at 6 o'clock. Or no, it was a 4 o'clock. It was a 4 o'clock. Anyway. This Dad has installed a wonderful thing in me, in the fact that I'm always early. I just can't fucking help myself. Mm-hmm. I'll show up an hour early, and I'm like, I don't need to be here this early. And because we had to be at church 40 minutes early, so that we got the proper pew on the side of the goddamn church, so that my friend Jill Schaffbach and her brother, who kicked the seat a lot, and he was a very active little boy, kicked the seat a lot. Oh, they sit there, then we're going to have to sit somewhere else. And I said, well, just sit behind them. He said, well, I like to sit in that seat. I said, we could sit 2 seats up. But so it was like this thing with Jill and my dad. There was an unspoken thing. It was like this rivalry for this one seat. Mm-hmm. But if we got the seat first, then they'd go in the front. I just said, let's just go home. Let's just go home. Anyways, that's my dad. So, the blind Chinese lady. So I'm trying to explain to my dad the funny story about the setup of the blind Chinese lady, like a Saturday Night Live. It's just a funny thing that evolved, and how it evolved with me thinking you said something, and then getting the chopsticks, which were the big bamboo poles that looked like rebar sticking out of my head. My brother said, or somebody said, I forget who the fuck that was. It was my brother. It looked like rebar sticking out of your head.
Yeah.
What happened to you? That's why I smoked too much pot that night.
I break my scope, and enough I have something to put it in.
And I was at my neighbor's, who lives right next door, 10 feet from my front door. It was a safe walk home, and we were having fun. And he said, well, it looks like it might be funny. But anyways, my dad. So, my brother kind of got it. My brother's kind of, he's very Indiana. I'm just playing, I love you, Andy. He's very Indiana. That's a good word for it. Very northwestern Indiana. Very, very I think he still goes to church, and that's good for you. That's good for you. I just pray to God when I'm
He'll
outside
save
at night
your soul.
walking the dogs. But if you got to go over there, it's cool. He's everywhere. Anyway, my dad, so I'm trying to explain to him about the blind Chinese lady. And as I'm trying to set up the story and explain to it, I'm like, he said, well, wait. It was, and I'm trying to remember exactly what he said. He said, well, was she lost? And I didn't want to laugh because I knew if I laughed, I was just going to fucking lose it. I'd just hang up on him. But I wanted to see how far I could play this through because I would remember this and be able to then come back and record and tell the story. And I said, well, I don't know. It wasn't in my apartment. And he said, well, what was she doing there? I said, you said, what about beef and broccoli? Was she delivering? I said, no, she thinks she was taking orders. And I said, and there was something about an order of tea also. And he said, I didn't know you lived next to an Asian restaurant. Doesn't your building have a no soliciting sign on the front? And if she's blind, how does she find herself around? These were just a series of questions he asked. Because I was just biting my phone. I was biting a towel, just at the pillow, just listening, trying not to laugh. Because the longer I let him go, the more questions he kept asking. And I just said, she was something else. And he said, this is the funny part. He says, well, why was she there again? I said, well, she's the grandmother of Ching Chong Ding Dong. And I lost it when I said that. And he said, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, who the hell am I talking to? You're not that old. Like, Christ, I'm trying to bond with my dad like I would with my friends. And it's just, we talk about the weather and gas prices and shit like that, but I'm trying to like bring him back into my frame of comedies. Whoa. He can be funny. He's got some funny stories, but he looks young for his age. But he's losing it. He always said there's always been something not there. There's always been something not there. He just didn't quite get the humor like my mom and I got. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stand-up spotlight on whatever Showtime and Rosie O'Donnell on the MTV and all that. That's the shit I grew up. Dennis Leary, George Carlin, Gallagher, Rosie O'Donnell. These are the comedians that I grew up with. Pauly Shore, whatever. And no, he's funny. Give me a pen. I can't tell the story now, but we got to write this. I have to write down Pauly Shore somewhere. Give me a pen, quick. There, right there. Pauly Shore. How I met him one time. Pauly Shore. That's for another story. Okay, yeah, Pauly. These are just notes of things that we've kind of compiled that we need to talk about, and as we don't get through every day, it just grows. So we have an endless amount of topics. But my dad, blind Chinese lady, and
what do you like some tea?
And I said, well, I made a recording of it, and he said, well, how did you do that? I said, well, Don used his phone. And he said, I thought his name was Walter. And I said, and I'm like, God, he really gets off topic. And I said, yeah, but he goes by Don now.
He
and
likes
says, why?
detail.
And I said, because his real name is Don Walters. And when he said Walter, and I said, I don't really care what if he wants to call him Sam or Mary. I don't care. That's what he wants to be called. Well, people out there in LA change their name. I was like, God, Larry, I'm trying to. I said, so anyways, Dad.
You should tell him it's my screen name.
I said about the blind Chinese lady, and I said, well, I've sent the video to you on your on your email, and I don't know if it's coming through because the compression ratio, because these were filmed in HD, some go through in 51 seconds. The only one that's gotten to do anything with is the blind Chinese lady, but I used another app on here to compress it for something else, and that's why it got compressed. Even though it's shitty quality, you can kind of hear it. Anyways, the blind Chinese lady and my dad, and he said, well, did she bring well, and he's trying to find it on the computer. He's back there trying to look it up on the computer, trying to figure out what it is. And he'll probably deny half this story because he won't remember it like that. But Dad, that's why we all think you're losing it. Because, anyways, he's asking me questions. He's trying to find it online, and I'm just trying to say, Dad, just listen to the story. He said, well, I want to see it. I want to see the video. And I said, well, I can just tell you what it's going to be. Let me set it up for you again. And so I started telling him again about, she came out of the side of the kitchen and she's got these two big, and I said, well, I know, I said, well, Dad, it's me. I'm the one doing this. He says, well, I know. You're the one filming it. I'm like, no. I thought, okay, let's just go with this. I imagine I think he's trying to find it on the computer and trying to get the computer to boot up and run a virus program at the same time. And listen to me, and it's like, yeah, just focus on one thing. The multitasking is driving me crazy because I'm trying to tell you this fucking story. Shit. That'd be a beep. And I said, she comes over there and she's I said, and she's banging these black bamboo poles, going, it's like his radar. And he said, well, how did she find her way through the building? Who let her in? Isn't that a secure building? I said, well, I don't know who let her in.
The tea lady.
I just said, okay, let's play with this. I just thought, let's just play through this out. Let's play this out with Dad. Because, why not? Because I wanted to tell the story and finally get it all recorded. And he said, we had to talk about beef and broccoli number 69. That was a good one. And I said, she's talking about beef and broccoli number 69. And he said, well, what's that? And I said, well, I said, he said, well, at Asian restaurants, the joke is always, on TV shows is, order number 69, because you order by the number, and it's always beef and broccoli, but it's order number 69. And he said, well, it's... Oh, my God. He said, well, 69 is probably a code for something.
If you're a gay
oh, my
man.
God. What? How old are you? Really? Because I think my mom got the joke when I told her that morning. She kind of got it. She said, yeah, I know what you mean. Or she at least played along as she did. But my dad just kept asking more questions.
Well, he wants to get educated.
It is a code. And he said, well, he said, you got to be careful with those people. They put MSG in things to make you have diarrhea. So I'm like, no, they don't. It's just a preservative, and they don't do that out here anymore. Not as much. And he said, well, the stuff she bring, was it refrigerated, or how she... I said, hey, was she pushing a cart? And I said, no, she might have been pulling it. She was feeling her way. She was using, she had these two bamboo poles, and I kept having to explain to him. She had these two bamboo poles that she was trying to get through the apartment with. Bang, hello, beef and broccoli. And I said, I think she was pulling it. And he said, but the whole thing only lasted 51 seconds. And he said, well, where'd she go? I said, well, she disappeared. She just said, I'm done. And he said, so did she deliver the food or not?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.